Here's something that will disturb most men. The traits you think attract women are exactly what's repelling them. While you're out there flexing your muscles, flashing your wallet, and trying to be the loudest voice in the room, you're unknowingly broadcasting weakness. You're doing the opposite of what actually creates genuine attraction. The truth, real attraction isn't built on what you show, it's built on what you withhold. It's not about what you say, it's about what you don't need to say. Today, I'm going to reveal 10 traits that create magnetic attraction in women. Traits so counterintuitive, so opposite to what you've been taught, that most men will never discover them. But once you understand these principles, everything changes. The ancient Stoics understood something about human nature that modern men have forgotten. They knew that true power doesn't announce itself, true strength doesn't need validation, and true masculinity, it's silent, controlled, and absolutely magnetic. The first trait that women find irresistible is emotional sovereignty. Most men are emotional slaves. Their mood depends on the weather, their girlfriend's text messages, or whether their favorite team won last night. They're reactive, predictable, and exhausting to be around. But a man who owns his emotional state, that's rare, that's magnetic. Emotional sovereignty means your inner world isn't dictated by external circumstances. When she tests you, and she will test you, you don't get triggered. When chaos erupts around you, you remain calm. When others are losing their minds, you become the eye of the storm. This isn't about suppressing emotions, not just financial security, but emotional security. They want to know that the man in their life won't crumble when life gets difficult. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the foundation of emotional sovereignty. Practice this. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause before reacting. Take a breath, choose your response. This single habit will transform how others perceive you. The second trait is selective availability, and it's the opposite of what most dating advice teaches. Modern men think availability equals interest. They respond to texts immediately. They drop everything when she calls. They make themselves completely accessible, believing this shows care. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of human psychology. Scarcity creates value. When something is rare and selective, it becomes precious. But here's the key. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative. It's about having a life so compelling, so purposeful, that you can't always be available because you're busy building something meaningful. The most attractive men are those who have clear boundaries around their time and energy. They're not rude or dismissive, but they're selective about where they invest themselves. You have standards. You have a life beyond any individual woman. Think of it this way. A restaurant that's always empty raises questions. A restaurant with a waiting list creates desire. Your availability should reflect your value, not your desperation. Trait 3 is quiet confidence, and it's perhaps the most misunderstood concept in modern masculinity. Most men confuse confidence with volume. He doesn't need constant validation or approval. He knows who he is, what he's capable of, and where he's going. This inner knowing creates a gravitational pull that draws people in. Women can sense this authentic confidence from across the room. It's in the way you carry yourself, the steadiness of your voice, the comfort you have in silence. Quiet confidence says, "I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone because I have nothing to prove." This is radically attractive because most people are desperate for external validation. When you encounter someone who doesn't need your approval, who doesn't need to perform for your attention, it's magnetic. The Stoics called this self-possession. You possess yourself fully, so you don't need to possess or control others. The fourth trait is having a purpose-driven obsession, and this might be the most powerful of all. Most men are drifting. They're going through the motions of life without any real direction or burning passion. They work jobs they hate, pursue goals they don't care about, and wonder why they feel empty. But a man with a mission, a man consumed by something greater than himself, that's intoxicating. When you have a purpose that drives you, women don't want to be your everything. They want to be part of something extraordinary. This obsession could be building a business, mastering a craft, solving a problem, or serving a cause. The specific mission matters less than the intensity and authenticity of your commitment to it. Here's what happens when you find your purpose. You stop seeking validation from women because you're getting fulfillment from your mission. You stop being desperate because you have something more important than any individual relationship. Purpose gives you gravity. It makes you the sun instead of a planet orbiting someone else's energy. Trait 5 is being comfortable with conflict, and most men fail miserably at this. They avoid confrontation at all costs. They agree when they disagree. They suppress their opinions to keep the peace. They think this makes them nice guys. This is actually repulsive to women on a deep, primal level. A man who always agrees has no backbone. Being comfortable with conflict doesn't mean being aggressive or argumentative. It means being willing to stand for your values, express your opinions, and defend your boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. Women test men constantly, often unconsciously, to see if they'll maintain their position under pressure. When you consistently fold, you fail these tests spectacularly. The most attractive men are those who can engage in conflict with calm confidence. They don't avoid difficult conversations. This comfort with conflict signals several attractive qualities. You have strong convictions, you won't be easily manipulated, you can handle difficult situations. You're not desperate to be liked. Remember, conflict is not the enemy of attraction. Avoidance of conflict is. The 6th trait is mysterious depth, and it's about what you don't reveal as much as what you do. When someone can't quite figure you out, they become obsessed with trying. When you reveal everything up front, there's nothing left to discover. Mysterious depth means you have layers that take time to uncover. You have stories you don't tell immediately. You have depths that aren't visible on the surface. This isn't about being secretive or dishonest. It's about understanding that revelation should be gradual and earned. Think about the most fascinating people you know. They probably have a quality where you feel like there's always more to discover about them. They don't dump their entire life story in the first conversation. Women are naturally drawn to complexity in men. They want to feel like they're peeling back layers of an interesting person, not reading an open book. The key is to be genuinely deep, not artificially mysterious. Develop real interests, real skills, real experiences that create natural depth. Then reveal them gradually as relationships develop. Depth without mystery is overwhelming. Mystery without depth is empty. Both are unattractive. Controlled intensity is passion under discipline. Power under restraint. Fire contained within strong boundaries. When you have this quality, women sense that you're capable of great passion, but also great self-control. You're powerful but disciplined. This shows up in how you speak, with conviction but without aggression. How you move, with purpose but without haste. Trait number 8. Independent validation. Most men are addicted to external validation. They need likes on social media, approval from friends, and constant reassurance from women. Their self-worth fluctuates based on how others respond to them. Independent validation means your sense of worth comes from internal standards, not external opinions. You know your value regardless of whether others recognize it. Women can instantly sense when a man is seeking their validation versus simply enjoying their company. The former is desperate. The latter is attractive. Trait number 9. Strategic patience. We live in an instant gratification culture. Most men approach relationships with impatience. They want instant results, immediate commitment, quick fixes. In relationships, this means you're not rushing to define things, not pressuring for commitment, not trying to accelerate intimacy artificially. This patience signals that you have options. You understand quality takes time, and you're confident in your ability to attract women. This is the patience of a predator, not the passivity of prey. Trait number 10. Unshakable frame. Your frame is your reality. How you interpret events, view yourself, and respond to challenges. Most men have weak frames that can be easily disrupted. An unshakable frame means you maintain your reality, regardless of external pressure. You know who you are, what you believe, and where you're going. Women test men's frames constantly. They'll challenge your opinions, question your decisions, and see if they can shake your confidence. When your frame remains unshakable, it's incredibly attractive. The strongest frame is built on truth, self-knowledge, and genuine confidence. They're not strategies to get laid or find a girlfriend. These are the characteristics of a fully developed man. A man who has done the work on himself. A man who has chosen growth over comfort, discipline over indulgence, purpose over pleasure. When you develop these traits authentically, attraction becomes a byproduct, not a goal. Women are drawn to you, not because you're trying to attract them, but because you've become genuinely attractive. The Stoics understood this principle deeply. They focused on developing virtue, character, and wisdom, not to impress others, but because it was the right way to live. The respect and admiration they earned were secondary benefits. Stop seeking external validation and start building internal worth. The moment you make this shift, everything changes. You stop chasing and start being chased. You stop performing and start being. You stop needing others and start attracting them. But here's the deeper truth that most men can't handle. The goal isn't to attract more women. The goal is to become the kind of man you respect. When you focus solely on attraction, you become a performer, an actor playing a role. But when you focus on becoming genuinely attractive, developing real strength, real confidence, real purpose, you become magnetic naturally. These traits aren't masks you wear, they're muscles you build. They don't just make you attractive to women, they make you attractive to life itself. Opportunities come to you. They focused on their mission, developed their character, and built their strength. The attraction followed naturally. This is the paradox of attraction. The less you need it, the more you get it. The less you chase it, the more it chases you. The less you perform for it, the more authentic and magnetic you become. In a world where masculinity is under attack, where men are told to be softer, weaker, more feminine, developing these traits is an act of rebellion. You're not just becoming more attractive to women, you're reclaiming what it means to be a man. You're developing the qualities that have made men valuable throughout history: strength, leadership, purpose, discipline, courage. These aren't toxic masculine traits. These are the foundations of healthy masculinity. These are the qualities that build civilizations, protect families, and create legacies. When you embody these traits, you're not just improving your dating life, you're stepping into your role as a man. The choice is yours. You can continue chasing attraction through superficial means, buying the right clothes, saying the right things, following the latest dating strategies. You'll get some results, but they'll be shallow and temporary. Or you can take the harder path. You can do the deep work of developing these traits authentically. You can focus on becoming genuinely attractive rather than just appearing attractive. This path is more difficult. It requires discipline, self-awareness, and patience. It means facing uncomfortable truths about yourself and doing the work to change them. But the rewards are extraordinary. You don't just become more attractive to women, you become more attractive to life. You don't just improve your dating results, you improve every area of your existence. You become the man you've always wanted to be. And that man is absolutely magnetic.